So we'll have to do this once again.
Do it again? Not to say all that again? I may say it differently. Hi, I'm Vijay Venkatesh. I'm 64 years old. I was born and brought up in Delhi.
My name is Neela D'Souza and I am from Tamil Nadu.
My name is Satyamurthy. I was born in Tanjavur district.
45, my father was transferred to Simla. So it was a big transition from Chennai to Simla, and this is the first time we were going to live in the northern part of the country and right up in the mountains.
When I was a child, we moved a lot. My dad was in the government, and then I know that from Delhi we moved to places like Trichinapalli and Madras and Chengalpat, like I told you, and Pondicherry. So Pondicherry I came to when I must have been about 6 years old or 5, 6 years old, and then stayed there till about 11 or 12. Imagine growing up in a house that had, the doors were as high as the ceilings, and it had these red polished tiled floors. It had balconies outside, those white columns, and very European, the style of the house, and great place to have grown up in. So that's one house I remember very vividly.
So day started at 6 in the morning. Generally, it could be earlier, but 6 o'clock it started, and then of course the usual morning things, shit shave, shampoo, whatever rubbish. Then school. We were all very regular, and our school was in Dadar, so we would either walk or we would go by tram. We had tram.
And Simla was free of cars. The only transport there was your own feet or a rickshaw if you couldn't. So I used to walk a couple of miles to school, which was great fun because Simla was so pretty and you walked up and down, you didn't mind that.
Mom giving us aloo paratha for lunch, and Delhi winters, on a sunny day, we did these little Devi Dayal tiffin boxes, steel Devi Dayal tiffin boxes. We would put them on the chhajja of our classroom, so the sun would heat it up, and so by lunchtime it was nice and hot and crisp. That's a very vivid memory. On some days, Mom would give us money to eat from the canteen. For 4 annas, which is 25 paise, we could get a bottle of Coca-Cola, and for another 4 annas, we could get 2 chapatis and a steaming bowl of moong dal. I can still taste that. I can still taste that.
And it was a golden period. I am a great lover of sports and films, and I think some of the great giants were at that time.
My earliest memories of listening to a film song is this huge big pie radio we had in our house, and I kind of thought these guys were all sitting inside, little people sitting inside singing ye ishq ishq hai, ishq ishq hai. And then once we went to my uncle's house, my mom's brother, and he's a free mechanical guy, and he had this radio all opened out, and there was no little people inside it except for some nuts and bolts and screws. So that was one childhood dream that kind of died. And then, of course, as you grew older, TV came and Chitrahar came, and we used to really wait for Wednesday evenings. We didn't have TV at home, so we had to go to a neighbor's house to watch TV. So, first of all, neighbors had to be at home on that Wednesday evening, then mom had to give permission, and then so many things like that.
I used to play cricket. I was mad about cricket, and Saturday, Sunday I would be playing matches. So that sun has to be on my head. My mother said, otherwise you won't get sleep. So that was the routine, and we played a lot of games. I played football also. I couldn't play tennis much because tennis was expensive. Even cricket was expensive. So I used to keep bowling and fielding and things like that, take somebody's bat and play. Difficult days, but it taught us value,
And also went ice skating one winter. Ice skating is not easy at all. So the first time you set out and you're told to hang, nobody teaching but somebody would tell you this is what you do, there's a chair and you hang on to it and you try and move with the chair. And of course you fall on your bottom on that flat, hard, icy surface. It's not very pleasant, but ultimately one did manage to skate a bit. Don't imagine that I was a sports person or anything, but was game to try whatever came my way.
But fashion those days was bell bottoms. It was Zenathaman on one end, flared bell bottoms and snazzy, sharp looking features and bright colors, and the Jaya Bhaduri and Sharmila Tagore kind of, the blend between those, And so I came from a fairly traditional household. Lipstick after you're married. Sleeveless blouse, look at this, after you're married. Everything was cutting your hair after you're married. Nose ring after you're married. So that's the kind of thing we grew up in. But I don't think at that time, I don't think I really wanted to be different from the way I really was, because, yeah, I guess, yeah.
We can take the up with the low, and I think that's a great lesson, and that's one of the greatness of the period. We went through bad times, and then we saw the good times.
Lot of friends, lot of memories, and nothing especially disturbing, although we've lived through these tumultuous times.
I miss my parents and my home. I miss home. Not specifically the physicality of the home, but I still miss my home.